Hey guys, this video is all going to be about getting into base race, competing in organizations, and having some fun with car audio. I want to let you come along with me on the trip as I'm building my car, and I'm going to be doing a triple point event later on this spring. And I'm just going to talk about the mentality of things, of why I'm doing a power wire this way, why I'm building it this way. I want to share all my knowledge with you so you can build a car, have some fun, maybe take your friends, have a little bit of boom in the trunk, and just enjoy music. So I hope you let me take you along for the ride. If you get anything out of this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It helps us all grow together. And hey, hopefully I see you in the lanes. Hey, welcome to my 2011 EX37 Infiniti. God willed to me and from my father, kind of here nor there really in the big scheme of things. And I chose to film kind of like in a normal environment, guys, because usually when you're building these cars for competition, you're building them at night. You know, you're building them what you drive and going from there. So I wanted to show my thought pattern and everything. So I want to compete in called DB Drag Racing Base Race. It's a good little entry-level one, not for how cars super loud they go, but we'll touch on that another time. So I just want to go through right now. I'm just going through the engine bay, and I'm going to do the power wire. And I want to walk you through my journey and thought patterns. Hopefully you can build a car like this, or at least you can understand what the thought pattern is, even if you add your own amplifier, okay? So, it's a little bit tough, guys, because I don't have no fancy lights here, but obviously it's the engine bay, all right? So, yeah, I'll clean it when I'm all done. So here is the power, okay? So what I want to show you, let's see if I get into here like this. Okay. So, I'm going to pop this off here. The biggest thing when I'm doing this, like the power and stuff, is I want to make it so it'll last a long time and never break down, okay? So what I mean by that is, if I attach to here, you'll see my plastic cover can't get on. I'm probably gonna, sorry, if I attach to here, my plastic cover won't go back on. And if I attach to here, my plastic cover is not going to go on. So I'm probably gonna try and see if I can find the new one of these and get this going again, okay? But what I wanted to show more was, see here, this is and these are all cars, okay? Let's put this up here. You're gonna see a fuse box, right? But the thing is a lot of these wires will go down from the bottom and then come up on here, and you'll see a stud. The only stud here is the one behind the camera. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying is, so there's no real place to add. Like you can add, you see these here. Let me see if I can get this a little bit more in there. See how there's a little fin there, right? So a lot of times you can add to those, and then you'll see that, but there's no pin on the other side. But since it's going to be kind of high current, and then if you guys can see, because mine's a little bit of a newer car, right here, these are actually fuses. So let me get into this a little bit, guys. I'm just going to pause and turn around. Give me a sec. Hey, back to it. So I just want to show that those fuses, okay? So I was working on a 2023 Honda Civic, and a person did, the, footwell lights, the blue and green lights underneath the footwell. Well, the footwell, when they went to go put the plastic back on, the switch hit, and it wasn't fused. So what they did is they took a wire from the ignition and down. Well, the car was dead. And I mean, I got called because the car's, and I mean, like, dead the door, will not even won't go to drive, like it is dead. It turned out it was that fuse. Now I know I say that indirectly here, but it actually took out the main fuse, and the main fuse was ignition, starter, everything. So why I'm showing you this is, when you make these attachments, especially to these newer cars, okay, this is not a 1990 Honda Civic, you got to think of these things down the road, because I'm going to hook up a roughly 1,000 watt amplifier for 212s or 210s. I haven't decided yet, but I got to get the wire run anyway. And how am I going to make it so if my car broke down, or if a mechanic looked at it, or any of those things, can it be serviceable? Because I don't want it, or you might joke, what if my wife's driving it, okay? My kid's driving it. Okay, but also too, what if I'm coming back from somewhere and I'm stranded on the side of the highway? These are the things that you have to think about. When I know sometimes say, well, I only drive in the city, blah blah, driving to and from school. That's cool, but in the real world, I need a car that's going to be longevity, last a long time. And also too, guys, you know, like Ford, I think I'm in Canada, is like $140 an hour now. So like, even if it was just a blown fuse, it's going to cost me $300. So I couldn't imagine what Infinity charges. Okay, so just keep that in mind when we go into all these things. Okay, I'm gonna poke around here. I'll be back in 1 sec. So I know I'm harping on it, guys, but I just want to show you how important this is. So this is that same clamp. I'm just super zoomed in, and you'll see those silver, right? So you can kind of hear. I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer. There, see, full fuses. Okay, so I do not want to make a connection on that side. So in this case, we'll go and have a look. I think the far right stud might not have any electronics on it. So I'm gonna have a quick peek. Yes, see? So if you look here, this lug is sitting on top of this. Same with here and vice versa. Same with this lug, okay? So what I'm probably going to do is, see, I have this, right, how it goes on. And I know it's broken, but I'll grab a new one. I'm probably going to flip and come out the bottom of this one here. And what I mean by that is I'll flip my, here, 1 second, I'm going to pause it, I'll get the part. There, I'm back. So look, I'm just going to show this lug here. So you'll notice that this lug essentially is like this, okay? So it's laying flat on this part. Okay, here, let me go like this a little bit more. So it's laying flat, and you'll see I have a little bit of stitching, like I have a few threads, right? So what I'm going to do, if this was the OEM one, I'm going to go like this. So I'm going to hide it out the bottom. So what it means, I'll go underneath this lug here. All right, that's what I think I'm going to do. And then that way, when this is in place, see, it'll come out underneath it, right? So what I'll do is I'll probably take this one and I'll lift it up a little bit and go from there, okay? Now that way I'm past all those. I'm not on the fuses. I'm not on this one, which would be a good one. I'm not saying that one wouldn't be a good one, okay? Or here, but like I said, I want the factory, and this, for example, like I said, I know it's broken, but I want this to go on. So I can't go to the stud there, and I can't go to the stud there. And I know people say, well, I'll cut it and run it out, but you know what? Why don't we just take some time? And that's kind of the whole point of this video and stuff is, guys, is just take some time and plan it out. You can do it yourself. You can have some fun. And it's not, a lot of it is just planning. It's easy to do yourself and have some planning, okay? But you got to plan a little bit with these new vehicles, okay? And just so, for example, now if I go like this, bring this down here, you see that there is my intake for my venting. And if you can see the fins there, that's my actual air cabin filter. So where I'm going to try and go through the firewall here, it might be a tough. Oops, my light's moving. So I'm going to try and go through here, but right now I'm just trying to have a look at everything fitting before I take all this plastic off. So, because when I come out here, excuse me, guys, there. See, this thing's all plastic. So I'm going to remove all that in a sec, but I want to do, how's it going to look when all the factory plastic is there, okay? And I don't mean, okay, I am going the weeds, guys, but I want to help you. Like I said, I want my experience to help you. That's what I want, okay? Now, why I say this, okay, is that if I took all the plastic off and I mounted everything and then put the plastic back on and something doesn't line up, well, then I could have a problem. Like my hood might not seal properly. You know, my intake, like I was just showing you, for my defrost might not work. Like, so this is where it's different nowadays, and that's why, like, I know professionals and they're worth their weight in gold, but you know, sometimes you want to do it yourself. Like, honestly, let's have some fun building a car, competing and grid, just like I'm building a race car, same idea. But there are reasons why we consult professionals and all this, and this is why sometimes they have some specialty tools and stuff. I'm going to try and help you out my best I can, but if you get in over your head, make sure to consult a professional, or hey, you leave a message down me in the comments. I have a lot of contacts all over North America, or even with any manufacturer. You leave me, I'll find someone to help you out, okay? At least someone find a shop in your area to talk to you, all right? Let me keep going. I'm going to pull off this plastic. We're going to go from there. Well, I know we're going to laugh a little bit. Yep, there's an old Stinger sign there. You probably saw my old, my Phoenix Gold sign. I have a clip spanner, yep. So I'm using a soundstage wiring kit. All right, I'm trying to get in here for 4 gauge. All right, unfortunately, I'm located in Canada, and then this company is exclusively made for Visions Electronics up here. You can't buy it anywhere, but what I'll do is there's an equivalent kit on Amazon, and I'll send you one. And please, I don't want to hear the debate. 100% pure copper, no CCA, full stop, and period. Don't be that cheap. Okay, spend the 10, 15 bucks. Copper wire is the best, period. Not copper clad aluminum, which is CCA. OFC, oxygen-free copper. All right, please. It'll last a lot longer and also have resistance. And if you Google it, and if you want, I'll even leave one down below if you want and show you some of the videos of how you lose current, the wires heats up, everything. No. Car manufacturers, if they could make it cheaper, they would. And they even use oxygen-free copper. Okay, so, all right. So I'll link a free copper kit to you. All right, cheers. Hey, I went and grabbed a light. Okay, so it'll be a little bit brighter in there for you. Now, here is the one thing you need, is a fuse holder. Okay, so what this is, excuse me guys, I didn't think okay. It consists of, the wire goes in one side and goes to the other side. This one is for 4 gauge, so it's roughly 1/2 inch round. I'll show you that when I get there. Okay, and then it has a fuse. Okay, I cannot state to you how important a fuse is. Okay, it's also okay if the amplifier has a problem or you get in an accident. It's the big one when you go through the firewall, okay, and say the wire gets pinched and the insulation gets cut, then you have a direct spark and energy coming from your battery to that portion and also energize your car. So if you get in a big accident, it could start a fire, or you can do a direct short. It can melt your amplifier. I mean, take it out. Okay, excuse me. You can take out all your electronic. Honestly, guys, like, this is cheap. And once again, OEM has it. And we're gonna go through that right now because the OEM has all these fuses, and there's a reason why they have them, is to protect the circuits. So you don't want to bypass these things, okay? It's cheap, and every amp kit comes with one. And there's even a reason why you probably can't even buy an amp kit without them, is because it's a very big safety thing, okay? And once again, I go into it. If your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, kids, partner, whatever is driving your car and has a problem, do you want to be responsible because you didn't want to spend the $15? Okay? In the big scheme of things, it's nothing. And all these I think the amp kit I'm going to link you is like 42 bucks. Okay? It includes all these parts. Okay? So don't be that guy, okay? Now, I want to switch it around, so give me 1 sec. Now, there we go. See? Got lots of light now. All right? So, going back into here, okay? So, bear with me. I'll put this here. Okay, we're going to put this back on. All right. So what happens is this goes over top of it, okay? And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So this is the thing, and I'll clean it all in the end, guys. So if I blew a fuse, I asked myself, well, what happened? How can I fix it? And I want to fix it in a timely manner. So if I took this fuse, for example, and say I tucked it back here, does that make it practical? No. We might say, well, I'll put it there. Okay, well then I'm gonna have screws coming out the side of this. So this is what I mean by planning, and I go into it, guys. And I'm showing you a full build, okay? And keep in mind, as I told you before, I won the World Championships twice for installation quality and sound quality, and I actually won North America, and I got runner-up for North America as well, okay, for how loud those cars are, okay? So I've done it, okay? So I want to share this information with you. So if I look here, all right, I'm thinking maybe if I can build something in here where maybe this sits like that. See, that would be pretty slick, right? Because then it would come off of here, the wire, and it would come here and go there. Now, or maybe here, or maybe here, okay? So I'm going to have a look around and see what I come up with of kind of building something for this, okay? And I'm sorry about the lighting, guys, but it's very hard, believe it or not, to film underneath the hood of a car in a capsule, okay? All right, I'll catch you in a little bit. Hey, I thought it'd make it a little bit easier. All right, sit and talk to you while I did it. One thing I do is I get a little tray, guys, like this. Mine's a snap-on one, guys. Like I said, I used to do this professionally all the time. But you can get them. I think your guys' is Harbor Freight. I think you said is the one you guys do all the time, right? So it's just a magnetic bottom. If you want, I'll find you one on Amazon. And we'll go from there. I'll link one for you. There we go. And then, if you guys didn't ever see these kind of connectors, that there's like 4 slits on each side. There's a pair of pliers you can get that goes like a Pac-Man. Excuse me, like a Pac-Man, and then pulls it up. But in all honesty, I find 2, like, honestly, cheapy screwdrivers works just as good. You know what I mean, to get them out. And then you can kind of work them out from there. And I just find with the screwdrivers that, you just can't be an animal on it, right? You know what I mean? So do you guys like working on car audio as much as I do? Or are you just trying to delve into it? I would love to hear it down below. I dropped something, but we'll figure it out if I can get it. All right. So you can see how the scope starts to change, but like I said, here, actually, you can probably see it quite well. So here was all the plastic, right? Like I said, this is where my air vent goes in. This is where my battery post is. So why I'm showing you all this is that when I go into here, like you can say, oh, okay, I'll mount it here, or I'll do this. But when everything's in place, what can you do? You know what I mean? And also, too, I joke, but if the battery had to be changed or something had to be changed, can you still service it? You know what I mean? I know I harp on serviceability, okay? Like I really, really do. You know, you can say, oh, maybe I'll stick it to this, but then, well, then maybe I can't get this out, right? And I really do believe in bolting things down. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna have to figure something out a little bit more in here. And I think I'm going to pull this. I was going to try and go through the grommet that's back there, but she looks pretty tricky, to be honest with you. So I'm going to have to try and figure this out. Now, also, in your planning, if the battery is here, I'm going to go this way, okay? Because let's say I need 20 feet of battery. So if I go this way, 20 feet makes sense, but it's even less because I'm going down. But if it was over there, so when I had and say I was going to go through here, I'm going to go, 5 feet across and then go, say, 12 feet back. Like, so planning is a big thing. That's why tonight, and that's why I'm exploring. And I figured I'd take you along for the ride and see what you guys thought about this whole thing and kind of going through the thought process of building a car. And yes, I am going to try and go to Worlds today. There's a satellite, this year. So it's in Edmonton, so it's pretty cool. They have a satellite event up here. So yeah, so I'm going to keep puttering away and have a look, and then I'll show you what I do with mounting this thing, okay? All right, cheers. Thanks for hanging out. The children have already gone to bed, and I'm kind of hanging out by myself, but this is what happens when you're building something like this, to be honest with you, okay? You're usually building it at night because you don't need the vehicle, yada, yada. And also, too, guys, keep in mind, when something like this, say I'm working on it, all this stuff can go. I could drive my car still, okay? So I do tell you that to plan when you're doing stuff. Make sure you can still drive the car, especially if it's your primary car, because I can leave this off. It's not going to hurt anything. What's it going to do, get dirty? All right, so give me a few minutes. Hey guys, once again. So there's maybe a few things we should address while I'm in here. Is that what I like to do too is go through the condition of my battery. All right, so I make sure that it's tight. It's tight. You know what I mean? I joke to see if these are corroded or not. All right, and then I get down there, like I said, and just give it all a good health case, because you are going to be putting more stress on your battery. I know I buy AGM batteries. I know there's lithium and stuff, okay, but like I said, this is kind of a budget, okay, build, guys. Okay, there's better ways, okay, but an AGM is way better than a lead acid, okay. And what I was gonna say is, you see me with all these plastic parts, okay. I'm just gonna say you are gonna break them, okay. So I do recommend, you know, like I ordered a bunch off of Amazon. I hate to say I go to Amazon, but like, dude, like this little clip from the dealership might be like 10-12 bucks, or oh sorry, I'm in Canada, but I say $5 $6 or whatever, right? So you know, you can buy them honestly $20 for a huge kit, you know what I mean? So like, don't be stingy with them. And also they're plastic, they're crap, they're gonna break. So just like here, I know because I replaced my batteries, how I know about this, okay? So I replaced all these. I broke one, so I have another one, and the one's right there. So I bought a pack before. Just keep in mind, okay, that these are the things you do. So like I said, is make sure your battery is bolted down, okay? You don't want it to get an accident. Make sure there's no purple fuzz, or I'm sorry, not purple. It's kind of like a teal fuzz around any of this stuff, and it is. Honestly, just look at some baking soda. You can see it. You make baking soda and water. You know, a couple teaspoons in a cup of water, and then pour it on it, and it neutralizes the acid. And just all around while you're in here anyway, because at least then too, if your car ever does break down, you can say, well, you know what, I was in there, I know the battery's tied down, yeah, I know the battery connections were good, yeah, I know, because side of the road, I joke about that, guys, but when you're stuck on the side of the road, you want to be able to see what's going on, okay? So let's keep going with this. And I know I haven't really gotten, like you might say, well, it's in the car audio part of it, but once again, I figured just talk to you, okay, and to go through what the mindset is of all this kind of stuff. All right, I mean, you could farmer it, and I could run a wire down the side here. I can get my finger down there and go through the door jamb, but is that practical? No. Is it longevity? No. You know what I mean? Is it farmer? Yeah. You can say, well, it gets it done, but like, have some pride. I like to always say, if someone just took a panel off and saw inside and go, you know what? That's pretty damn good. You know, I'm impressed by that. That's why I try and search for. I don't search for perfection. I just search for, you know, is it long term? Is it serviceable? And hey, can I work around it? Not like, so like, let's say I put a fuse holder right here. Well, what if I had to move these, or what if I have to move this? It's kind of one of those tough decisions, guys. You know what I mean, to build. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a plastic panel off of here and put this right there. Is what I think I'm going to do. You know, because it makes like there's no sense. There's no way to mount it here. I don't screw into shock towers, to be honest with you. Okay, I don't want to screw into this. I mean, this is pretty safe of not coming off. And then in here, like I have, this is air conditioning line and all that. So why would I want to drill it here? I have even a chance of anything chafing on that. You know what I mean? So I do think I'm going to put some sort of off the factory tie. I'm going to make an ABS plate probably. I know it's pretty old school for most people don't make ABS plates anymore. But that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to make an ABS plate that goes from there to there, and then I'm going to use the factory bolt to tie down from the battery. Okay, all right. I'm going to start getting it together, and then I'll show you the progress from there. Okay, cheers. Hey, this is how I work. So what I did is I cut a strip out, roughly the same size as this. Okay, and then I scored it. What you do is you score it, you snap it off. These are just sheets of ABS. All right, and then so I want to bolt it, and then hopefully turn the corner. And I'll show you. I'm gonna fast forward it as it goes along, okay? Because you don't want to see all this stuff. But just thought you see the kind of process of what I'm trying to do, okay? All right. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet now. Hey, sorry, excuse me. So what I did is I made ABS plate. So here's where my mount will be going from there. Sorry, I showed you guys how to bend this with the heat gun, but I guess my camera turned off. So I do apologize on that one, guys. One thing to touch on too is when you see all this, I talk about fusing. Okay, is that when you're working on the vehicle, it really, 9 times out of 10. I take the negative off, okay? Yeah, all my radio stations are going to be done. You know what I mean? They're not going to be available no more. But if you, for visualization's sake, if this touched here, but I know it's plastic, okay, guys, but if it was metal or these touch, you're gonna fuse. And like I said, I had to fix a Honda Civic, and it was hundreds of dollars to fix it all. And then honestly, I was able to diagnose it, so I was lucky. So I know what I'm showing you guys here is pretty well how it, you know, here I am in my garage. When I won my first world championship, guys, I built my car in a dirt floor, in a place where you had to drive it in one way, open the door, work on it, and then drive it out and work on it. Okay. Why I'm trying to show you this, okay, and I admit I'm not showing. So I just want to get in here, guys, and go all the way through. Bear with me. You kind of see how it's shaping up now. So what I did is I bolted to the normal bolt. There's what it's going to screw onto, and then it goes down the side. And so I think that's pretty good. All right, so now I have something that can actually work, won't do any damage, and won't have any problems. All right. Anyway, I'll talk to you a little bit more in a second. Hey guys, sorry, I'm having problems with it. It's hard to film and work on a car. So as I was just saying is, when I first did my first world championship, I did it on a dirt floor. And why I say all that, okay, is it doesn't have to be this perfect scenario, okay? It can be a hobby, it can be a passion, it can be fun, and that's what I did. You know what I mean? Like even just little things like this, you know, people are like, why do you say I'm doing this with the fuse holder? You know, so I care. I want to see it done right. I want to enjoy it. I want to have some fun. And, you know, I enjoy those things. And now people laugh and said, well, car audio, you're world champion car audio. But you know what? I asked them what they're world champion in. And it could be tiddlywinks. It could be backgammon. It could be cards for all I care. Is it a sport? But did you, and I will admit, I never made $1 more by being a world champion. Twice. All right, I got best of show at the Worlds. But what I liked about it myself was among my peers, I was the best that day. It doesn't mean I'm the best every time, and I didn't learn from anyone. I was lucky on a couple of them, all right? But what I want to say is being the best by your peers is what meant a lot to me. And so that's why, like, even when I'm showing this, I'm hoping to show you that you don't have to have some fancy thing. Like I just did with hand tools, a heat gun, and a piece of ABS I bought for $8 5 years ago, okay? And I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to show you what I've done. So now getting into it, guys, look. So here we go. So now I used the factory tie down bolt, all right, here, and I bent the plastic so it kind of goes over it. Yeah, it's not perfect. And now I have 2 screws bolting it down. All right. And now when I zoom out, nothing's been compromised. I'll take my power wire off to there. This will go that way. And if I need to change the fuse, I have it out right now for obvious reasons. All right, so this is how it all begins. Starts at the front, works his way back. And you know what? I'll be driving this car by the morning. Hope you enjoyed my little rant and talk while I'm doing the power wire. Hey, so now that I've showed you all, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do with this as well. So I can't say I'm choosing any reason one more than the other. All right. Ooh, she's on there. There we go. All right. So that's why I chose, guys, to share all this with you guys is like I do love car audio. Now you'll notice, look, I taped this up for a reason, okay, because I want to route it a little bit. All right. I will loom all this. So this is what I was talking about is I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to do it sideways, okay? And you'll see what it is in a sec here, and we'll see if my idea even leads out right now. But no, and honestly, if you guys got this far and you're enjoying it, please let me know. And you have any questions about any of this kind of stuff, let me know. Yeah, see that the stud is too long, it looks like. So I have to go high. See? So it's already not working out the way I want it. But we'll see. All right, hold on. I think I might have. So what it is this. I wish this was longer, if that makes sense, like here. Because is, yes, it'll go to the stud, no problem, but I want to go this way so it hangs over and it's close, so I can cut it, make it into a fork. I'm not sure yet. Okay, like I said, just happened now. You know, fork isn't bad, but I'm opening I don't want here. Oh, these cars nowadays are just so friggin' awkward, you know. So, because it's still, I'm putting a plate in between here. So I'm gonna see you. Just give me 1 second, okay? I'm gonna pause you. Hey guys, I'm back. So I went and found these ones. It's still a 4 gauge, and you'll see how it's just slightly longer, and the angle's a little bit different. So when I go on here now, it looks like she's fitting good. Make sure that that's flat. That's flat. Right. We're gonna do a test fit. I'm gonna put this on there. Grab this. Do a little hand tightening. I know, not everyone, I admit, okay, is gonna have a you know, an extra lug hanging around, but you know what, there you go. So yeah, it raises the threads, but they're all underneath still. I'm quite happy with that. The only thing is, now I was hoping to use the pre-crimped one, so I'll have to crimp it and clean it up a little bit. So let me work on this, and I'm gonna get this wire going, get this all taken care of, and I'll show you, because I'm honestly just gonna put some heat shrink on it and stuff, which I'll show you afterwards, but I'll get it all crimped up. All right, I know it's gonna sound funny, but I'm gonna kind of show you the old way that we used to crimp back in the day before all these, oops, too much crop in the way. So this is a crimper, okay? So what you do is you put your crimp connector in here, and then you hit it with the hammer. So what I did is I slit it with an X-Acto knife. Then I'll take it and I slide it off, and what I do is I just give it a little bit of a turn. Okay, you have a few hairs off, clean that up, take it here. What I like to do is go to a spin. All right, and that way, see, you go, you get no stragglers, and then you like to see these little threads out there. All right, bear with me, guys, because it's right. I can't crimp and do this all with you. So I was gonna try to see, so you go in there like that. So my hat's not in the way. That's pretty good. Now I'll heat shrink it up, and then I'll put a new thing on it, so you see it's all good and tight. All right, and then I'll solder it, and I'll seal this all up, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, here we go. Now I'm gonna show, see, underneath, all bolted up, comes through a nice little loop and goes into here. I don't have any more loom, but hey, I'm gonna get this replaced, but mission accomplished. So now that still goes over top like I want. This goes over top, and I have 100% stock connection. Now I have this right here, all bolted up, and then I'll zoop out the back, and we're all good to go. All right, I know it's a long-winded way to do power, but that's how you do power. Out of the way, perfect, serviceable, everything. I'll show you with the loom on it later. All right, guys, cheers. Hey, now I'm back in the car here, guys. It's a little hard to try and film and everything here. So what I did, like I said, there's a big harness that went back here. So I made a small slit with a little X-Acto knife, and then I ran some hard wire through. So now for the power wire running, I'm going to try and pull this down and see how it goes, if I got it. I believe I do. I got that through fairly easily. Fairly easily, right? But we'll see how it goes, you know. And then if I can complete this, I can actually have this thing all back together, which would be just pretty awesome. I don't know what you guys do for your guys' power wire to run it, but I already have this one through, and so I'm going to try and make it through. I try and go end to end, but we'll see how it goes, and I'll show you what I mean. I just get a ton of tape on it for now, and I go through, and then where the connection is, I do quite a bit of tape, I know. I'm sure. One thing with this one, guys, is that this vehicle is very tight, and it has every little doodad on it imaginable. There. So why I do end to end, guys, so it goes through. If I taped it to the outside of it, so for example, if I did that, then I'm also making a big hole, okay? So let's have a look. So I'm going to try and get in here, and I'm feeding. I haven't got that 4 gauge through yet. There we go. We're having a good day, you know. I don't know if I could tell you a little pro tip too, is don't do it like I did with the coil, because this is exactly what happens, is it gets it all tangled up. So I lay it down straight, guys, just like a garden hose, okay? All right, bear with me, I'll speed it up. I have to walk to the back and go around. Oh, it's through. I can see it. So. This sounds dumb, guys, but I like to tie it off because you know what? Sometimes you pull a little too much. There we go. Let's have a look. I still have to get some loom locally from someone. So what I do, I go here, do a little bit of this love. Also too, I don't know if you know with these fuse holders, any fuse holder you get, a lot of times there's a little adapter inside that'll adapt it from 4 gauge to 8 gauge. And make sure you take it out when you're trying to do 4 gauge. And I do recommend 4 gauge unless you're doing a smaller 4 channel or something like that. But why I say that is I've seen it get caught up quite a bit. All right, 1 second. All right, back. So I don't know if you've seen, I think it's Mark from Car Fab, these incredible little furls, I believe they're called. I haven't ordered them yet or nothing, so they go over top of the wire so you can take it in and out many times as you want, especially on an amplifier. I'm not dealing with that today, but what I do is get a little bit of old schoolness, is I'll just use a little bit of heat shrink, and I get pretty about 1/8 of an inch over. All right, just gonna warm up. Now, it looks a hell of a lot better than just edging. But see what I do is I heat shrink it around. I don't know if you can kind of see it where it closes up over top of them. and then I just find it keeps, see how it's all tapered, and it keeps it tapered there. So I know I'm an old little prick, I know. I just hate to see, I hate crap, you know what I mean? Like I hate when you have to solve problems and fix stuff and not serviceable. Well, at least here, I actually might keep this wire not loomed, only because it's encased in plastic. And why is I want the mechanic to see it. And I know that might sound like it's not a cop out or nothing, but I'm just saying that you know what, knock a little bit off that still. So I like it to sit right inside. Now, if you've ever seen the multi-strand cutter from Snap-on, I'm sure there's other companies out there, but you can cut your finger off with these puppies. But see, it cuts it beautifully, right? Especially copper. It can only be charged for copper, by the way. If you use something else, it actually damages the threads. One thing I'll tell you guys, maybe I was 26-ish when I did my first, my Sound Quality World Championship, and I might be a little bit older now. Hardest part, I'm telling you about being older, can't see the same anymore in the dark. And what I find is you guys can laugh about that, but I'm sure there's a few of you guys who are on the same boat. You know what I mean? Whoa. See, you know what? I might get those furls from Carfab. You know, I'm gonna link it in the thing. I'm gonna show you. They're slick as hell. You know, they're slick. There we go. Just gonna not click that in there. Now I'm gonna pick you up. Bear with me, guys. So that's turned out pretty good so far, and the plastic's not on it. All right, I'm just gonna secure that wire down and get back here. All right, I didn't know this towel was giving off so much glint. All right, you don't need me to see me put it back together, but I'm gonna secure a few wires, put it back together, and then I'm gonna shoot another video with you. Okay. Hey, I want to go over it really quick. Like, so it's looking good, right? But I want to show, look, there was one clip here underneath here, one clip here, 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3 there. Okay, why I bring this up is that if you don't replace all of them, you're gonna have a rattle. And you joke, like, this one goes in, there's like a little a clip it goes into, and then this one you got to push in. So especially with all these cars, and I joked about it, but will it seal, will it work? Hey, now let's get back up here. Now what do you think, guys? That is a really good power wire. Accessible, done, all the factory stuff. I gotta order that new cover, and look at that. All right, cheers. Thanks for coming along for a ride of this section of the videos, guys. I appreciate it. I would love to hear any feedback you got along the way. And until next time. Hey guys, I got the car out now, so I got the battery all put together. So I brought it out because it's just easier for me to try and show you a few things outside right now. It is spring here, guys. Like, I mean, we've only not had snow for like a week and a half, so that's why I decided to do this all. That's why a lot of things are super dirty. Also, too, because I haven't given it the spring clean yet. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this around, and I want to show you some ideas of this. Okay. All right. So this is where it came down in the end, okay, and I pulled this off. It's just a normal sill plate, okay. I always, like, you heard me harp about serviceability, okay. Well, what I'm lucky about is, look, see here, look how big this is. I got it all the way through. All right. So I'm lucky for the power wire. But the one thing too is with a lot of these kind of carpets, like this is an Infinity, and it's really tight on the floor. Sometimes it's like running a garden hose underneath it because you're trying to run the wire because there's just no give on it. So once again, I joke about planning, okay, but like here before I've even gone, I'm like woo. I'm lucky. I got a nice big space. Also, future-proof it. I'm going to run RCA cables, and I'm going to run a turn-on lead up here too. Okay. I'm not changing the head unit out in this thing. I'm going to use it all separate for DB drag racing. But once again, I have the paneling off, everything due. If you bought the amp kit, it comes with RCAs and turn lead anyway. You know what I mean? So just run it all, and then I just tuck it up and I tie it up behind the glove box. All right. I hope this helps you a little bit, guys. I'm going to start getting back to it, and we'll talk in a little bit. Hey guys, I just want to. It's where it drops down, so I'm just going to zoom out. You can see a little bit through. This is what I want to show you here. Okay, look. And you'll see it's wrapped all the way along, all the way through. Now, I'm not belittling, okay, but what I'm just saying is, see, it's in a position where this is where it mounts. This is, in this case, it's the slits. It's in a place where it's out of the way and everything moves, okay? Once again, I'm just joking about everything should be fully movable, serviceable. I'm gonna go this one. So I went in the back, and same kind of idea here. So I gotta, there we go, snap that back in. But the same thing, see, I came through, under, and then it follows the factory loom. I didn't bother doing underneath there, guys. I'll show you that when I get to the amp rack. But what I'm just saying is everything's fully accessible and run. That's the biggest deal about making sure you have a proper power wire, and there's no way it can get pinched, screwed, I don't know, stepped on, seat moves and pinches it. All right, cheers. Hey guys, I hope this all helped out. I know it was a little in depth, a little kind of in the weeds, but once again, I just want to make sure that you can do this job properly, understand why I'm doing it, about serviceability, reliability, and making it so it's fully accessible and it can't fail. All right, that's the biggest one, and safety on the equipment and safety on you. All right, guys, if you found any value in my video, please like and subscribe, because I'd like to know if you guys want to see more of this, because I still have the amp rack to go, sub box, etc. as well, and then some testing. All right, guys, you have a great night, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.